we have That Just Happened / Did You Catch That? And I'm gonna start off with the Nintendo Direct that just aired. I don't know about you, but
It was a
I thought
fucking
that
snooze fest.
I thought that direct was very lackluster, and I felt it was very playing it safe. Yes, I understand it's the 40th anniversary of this
Yeah.
Italian chubby plumber with a mustache that made Nintendo what they are, but if it wasn't Mario that was being shown, it was ports of games that have already came out elsewhere, aka like the Hades 2. Hades 2 is already out, and I believe it's still in early access, and it's set to come out in other places. Metro Prime 4. Nintendo fans, you all gonna hate me for this, but I really just don't give a fuck about Metro Prime.
Okay, 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 okay,
That
okay.
game,
Wait. Hold on. Because you cannot say that. Because this Metroid 4 game was announced in 2017. People, we
and
are in
that's
2025.
why I don't give a fuck about it.
No,
It's
but
been almost 10 years.
listen. I don't even know if it can meet the standards just because it was announced so fucking long ago. Like it was just the last episode where I said I don't think they're working on it. I don't think they have been working on it because it's been so radio silent and all these speculations and like you said they took it to one developer, then another one, then another one, then another, and then for it to finally be like, all right, and it's like, bro, we on Switch too, and it's 2025. I was hyped for it. I did admit that in the last episode, but I was hyped for it in 2017. I don't know what to make of it in 2025, and I'm just gonna wait and see. Like I'm not gonna go out my way to buy it because I just don't. It cannot. It's just been so much build up. It can never meet the hype. You can't say like fuck it because it's just been so long. So like what the what like if there was ever a documentary gaming development, I would want to see it on this Metro Prime 4 cuz I just don't understand 8 years of development. What were you doing? You cannot tell me they've been working on this 8 years straight. There's no way. No way.
So like I said, when it was announced in 2017, from 2017 to 2019, it was with some studio that Nintendo gave it to. Then they did a let's call it a wellness check, and they didn't they didn't like what they saw, and they were like, you know what, we're gonna take this from you, bad boy. You did bad, and it took it back to the people who originally worked on the other Metroid Primes, and they had to start from scratch. They started it purely from beginning, concept and all. So you look at 2019 to 2025, you look at 6 years.
That's
You have
still ridiculous.
you have current gen games taking that long. The Switch, let's be honest, the Switch is a glorified, overclocked Android tablet.
Not
Nintendo
even
has
a
their
not even a current Android, like old Android tablet.
old
Like
Android. And
yeah.
I don't know in what universe that what you all were doing. It was taking you 6 years to do this because the studio that was working on it, as far as I can remember, they have not been or put out anything or were working on anything besides this goddamn game. And history has shown when a studio is working on something like this for so long, the end product never truly meets the expectations. Now,
Mhm.
hardcore Nintendo fans and hardcore Metro fans, they're gonna slop it up. They're gonna call it, the best thing since spreadable
So
butter, and you're gonna be happy and love it. And then your regular consumers, the casuals and whatnot, are gonna be like, oh, it's just another first person shooter. It's just a game. It's just a game. And I can tell you right now, it will not live up to the expectation. People that played Metroid Prime 1, 2, 3, and have been dying for another one, and they have waited this whole long to do it, it will not live. It's the same thing Half-Life 3. If it came out, no one would be truly satisfied because it took so long. They would have these grand expectations of it. It's the same thing with a sequel to the video game Bully from Rockstar.
oh
There's
god.
nothing there's nothing that they can do to make that game that it will satiate the masses. It just won't happen. Will I play it? I can't say when the price goes down because Nintendo don't lower the price of their games. So, whenever it comes or goes. My main focus focus of Direct was I thought they would announce Metroid Prime 2 and 3 remastered as they did with the first one. So I can go back and replay those in modern control. That didn't happen. Like I said, this was a very lackluster, playing it safe by the numbers. Besides the Metroid Prime 4 announcement and actually dates, because I was shocked at that. The only other good thing that I cared or took joy in was the Super Mario Galaxy pack of those two first games because I didn't have a Wii and I won't go back and nor get one. And the Super Mario movie because, I am a parent and my children love the movie. So I was like, oh, that's something to look forward to. Other than that,
Yeah, listen, I am out of everything that was announced. I think the product that probably raised my eyebrow the most, and is very sad because this is Nintendo is a gaming company, was the Super Mario Galaxy movie. And then I'm like looking at the movie like, oh, probably it's gonna be good just because the freaking Pokemon movie. I like the Pokemon movie, and I'm like, where's the sequel? And then the Pikachu movie was good. I what's going on, but Nintendo is pushing out some good movies. Like, I don't know who are they releasing the responsibilities to, but whoever's doing
mhm,
it, at like Chef's Kiss. Yeah, Fire Emblem, Super Mario
nope,
Galaxy 1
don't
and
play them.
2,
Don't play Fire Emblem.
Tennis Fever, like, and then like what else was like, yeah, like no, nothing
Okay,
on.
so I'll say this. You ain't lying about the movies. Nintendo, you're cooking, baby.
Yeah,
You're doing it. I
yeah.
don't know who the hell you got in charge of handling these motion picture films, but you're
Listen,
doing it. Because when
listen.
I saw the Galaxy thing, I was like, hey, when y'all gonna show off the Zelda movie? When that's coming? I'm
Mm.
looking forward. But as far as everything else, like the Hades 2, I don't give I'm trying not to be that guy. I don't give a rat's ass about a roguelikes or roguelites. I don't. The thought of playing a game, earning rewards and unlocking stuff, and then I die, whether it be a skill issue, a mistake, and then you take it all away, and I just need to have fun re-earn it again, that does not ruffle my feathers.
Yeah, that's not gonna get me up and excited.
Let's not get me up and excited. Now, the other games they announced that seemed interesting, the Donkey Kong Bonanza DLC. I was like, oh man, that's quick. Okay. I see you. You capitalizing, striking while the iron's hot, as they say. But a lot of stuff was Switch 2 versions of games, and their only reason that they do that is to double dip and to make sure, hey, the Switch 2 version, make sure we add something to it. Okay, nobody say, oh, it's just a port. It's the same thing. Like the Super Mario Brothers Wonder Switch 2, the Pokemon ZA 1 and Switch 2. I'm like, you guys are porting over all this stuff from Switch 1 to Switch 2. And my whole thing is the Switch 2 just came out. You don't have nothing for the system to stand on its own two legs. Now, don't get me wrong. They did port a lot of Wii U games to the original Switch, but that's because, hey, them games suffered because the Wii U was a failure and they got success on the Switch 1. But now you just taking all your best hitters of Switch 1 and, hey, we added this one little photo mode or, a sticker collection to
Ugh.
the Switch 2 version of it. But we're also going to charge you more money. And we're not going to lower the price, nor lower the price of the original either. And you're going to buy it because of Nintendo. Now, I ain't going to lie. I was nice to see the Pokemon Legends. I don't know if you played the first one, but it's a refreshing change to the normal formula of Pokemon. These Legend games, they're doing something different in each one. So I am a huge Pokemon fan. So is my child. So, I was looking forward to that. I'll buy it because, whether you buy a Nintendo game when the year comes out or 10 years later, it's gonna be the same price. So
Yeah, it never goes on sale.
you might as well just get it, at least knowing it's brand new and ain't nothing wrong with it.
Mm.
But if there's one thing I must rant on real quickly about Nintendo fans, I want y'all to hear me. I want you to get ready for this. The Virtual Boy Classic online is the biggest crock of shit that I have seen Nintendo peddle. Hear me out here. Not only does Nintendo sell you nostalgia every generation, repackaging its greatest hits over and over again. They said, you know what? We're gonna do one different this generation. We're gonna resell our failure, and they're gonna buy it. The Virtual Boy, if I'm standing corrected by the comments, is Nintendo's greatest, and now they
Damn,
have
is it?
chosen to. Yes, I don't believe the Virtual Boy broke 1 million in sales. It was in the thousands. That's how bad it was. And until this direct, Nintendo does not talk about it. I don't believe they have talked about it. But now they said, hey, guess what? Because we are that guy, we are him, Nintendo. We're gonna sell you our failure, and you're gonna love it. We're gonna sell you this, and for the and part of the online, you have not only have you have to pay for the service, the games. You got to pay for a peripheral to play it with, whether it be original Model S or a cardboard cutout of it. And I was
Oh my
befuddled,
god. You're
dumbfounded.
right. I just looked it up. Nintendo Virtual Boy was a commercial failure, selling
Yep,
approximately 770,000 units worldwide. In the US,
yep.
it was extremely poor, with only 450,000 sales.
That is their greatest failure. And you know what they said?
Holy shit.
Hey, you all love Nintendo. You love us so much. We're going to sell you our failure. We're going to bring it back one time for a good time, and you're going to love it. And I was truly, like I said, I was befuddled. I was shell shocked. I was confused. Pick a verbiage. And I was feeling that. And somewhere in this world, you had a Nintendo fan. Oh my God. Oh, yes. Oh, probably ain't never touched or laid eyes on a Virtual Boy. But hey,
Wait, I gotta gain some understanding. Like, does Virtual Boy have a cult following or something? Like, did somebody ask for like how?
so I need to make sure I say this clearly. There are some true Nintendo diehard fans who will probably wanted it to play it to try it.
Mm,
No. No one is talking about Virtual Boy like that. You can't get a hold of it because it's so poor to find the original peripheral and then try to find games. If anyone who has one and they were willing to sell it, they're gonna charge an arm and a leg for it because it ain't something you're gonna walk into any mom and pop shop, game
yeah.
store, or whatever and see it there. They'll be like, oh yeah, that thing, yeah, you can have it $50. No, their prices will be like, yeah, you can have it 500 to maybe 5 grand because
God
you ain't finding it no
damn.
you ain't finding that nowhere. That's why when they showed it, I was like, "What? That's where we're going." Nintendo. I am part of the problem because I do buy some of your I do buy your games for the Switch. You are a nostalgia panhandler. That's what you are. You're not a game. You're not a game company. You are a nostalgia panhandler. You are the video game equivalent of Disney. Disney resells movies. You resell games. To do this, and then not only that, you locked it behind the paywall of Nintendo Switch Online, and then you still need to buy the peripheral. That's crazy. But I want to give a prediction. I want to give a quick prediction.
No, I
I
love
predict
predictions.
I predict that this Virtual Boy Classic is probably gonna fail just like the original one did. They'll probably never admit numbers, and they'll probably make sure the units they make are short in supply and it sells out because Nintendo makes artificial shortage, but they will never disclose numbers for it, like how they don't disclose numbers for any other things that come to bad publicity or sale. Because let's be honest, the 13.5 million Wii U sales, that's also an estimate because Nintendo stopped reporting on the numbers.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. It
The
did say estimate
Wii U
in
sales
bold.
estimate, the PS Vita sales estimate, Xbox One, and the Series console, all those are estimates because their head company stopped giving numbers because embarrassment is a very, very nasty dress to wear. But,
I'm very shocked that I didn't
oh
realize
yeah.
Virtual Boy was such a failure.
Yes, and see, that's what I'm saying. You wouldn't know that because no one talks about it. Nintendo does not bring that up. It don't get brought up in the conversation of the Game Boy. It don't get brought up in the conversation of when they went from Game Boy to Game Boy Pocket, etc. They don't bring that up because it was said from in the back. But other than that, everything else in that direct was just like
Yeah,
the
it
Pokemon Pokéd is I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I don't know what the hell that is. It ain't a
yeah,
Pokemon game.
that shit look like a Minecraft. I'm like, did they partner or get some type? If not, Minecraft need to sue the hell out of Nintendo. Like it looks just like a Minecraft. Like I'm so like I don't know anything about the game, so let me preface that before somebody in the comments be like, "Oh, this is."
They will.
I have no clue, okay, about this game, but just the look of it, I thought it was Minecraft. I thought they was announcing some type of partnership or something. And maybe that is what it is. I don't know. But I was like, what the fuck is this? And it's just like they slapped a Pokemon name on it for to make it sell. Cause you know, anything with Pokemon is gonna push some type of units. So I was just like, what the hell is that? But
And
yeah.
it's funny you say that because when I saw it, I was like, someone had an idea that someone greenlit, probably the wrong person. A higher up came and was like, "Yo, what is this, Phil? What is this shit? Oh man, this is my idea. We don't want this. This is Nintendo." And to save face, and especially to make sure there was a ROI on this, hey, we're gonna slap the name Pokemon on this, and we're gonna hope that makes it sell. Cause otherwise, if it didn't have that name on it, no one would give it
And
a time of day.
it could possibly still not sell with that name on
It probably could and won't. Because one thing I do know about Nintendo fans, you all just want the same,
it.
just dressed differently. One week it's no crust, the next week it's cut in half. After that, cut diagonally. Another time
Cutting
we want a
fours.
club sandwich style. It's the same shit. You just want to serve to you differently.
Make
Cause
make sure you point the mirror at you, Mister. I buy multiple Nintendo games on my Switch.
but you know what? But I'm not that guy. I'm not a Nintendo fan.
Listen, you
I
already
don't
know how I
Nintendo
am. I
Nintendo fans, the hardcore, all about the basics. The Mega Man, the Mario, the
Ooh, Mega
Zeldas,
Man.
Peaches, etc. Anything new or whatnot like that, it don't
They
really
scoff
do
at.
well. Matter of fact, I give you a prime example. Do you remember from the Switch One a game called Arms? Did you ever hear them talk about the success of that game? You ever hear them talk about numbers of
No.
that game? You
No.
ever even see a hint of a sequel to that game? You know why?
No.
Because it was new. The Nintendo fans don't want that. They want the 647 version of Mario, and that's all they want.
Okay, so I mean, this is true, and I just complain about Xbox not listening to what people want. So I guess this is just a little like I guess the main core people they just want the same thing, and then you have people like me who owns a Switch. I only have 4 games on my Switch because I'm not buying the
Damn,
same game over and over and over and over. Nah, bruh. Once I play it, I mean, I could want to go back for nostalgia every now and then, but it's not. Listen, that's probably once in a couple of years. Like I have 4 games on my Switch, and I've had that Switch one for a minute, and I don't plan on getting the two, and I didn't get the OLED or the light or none of that bullshit. So I don't play with Nintendo. Nintendo plays in people's faces too much for me. And like I said, this direct was a fucking snooze fest. Oh, the greatest thing I think was there, like I said, was the fucking movie. As far as the games, I could care less. And that's
now
my
I ain't
that's
gonna
my
lie.
final take on this direct.
Now I ain't gonna lie. For my Switch One, I did buy a lot of games, but
Yeah, I
I
know.
can say I didn't buy a lot of Nintendo first party games. I bought a lot of third party games that I felt that just I would probably enjoy playing this more in a portable capacity. And then I bought a good chunk of exclusives like Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. The first one and two of those games was on PlayStation and Xbox.
Mhm.
I don't know what happened with the licensing or whatever. They never made a third one, and then the third one comes and it's like, hey, it's only on Switch, and it stayed on
Super
there.
random.
Nine is super random. 9 to 10. Nintendo paid the license fee, and they probably paid the development fee. Them two checks being paid, they was like, hey, this ain't going nowhere else. Damon X Machina, that was only on Nintendo Switch,
Oh
and later
yeah.
came to PC. The sequel has come to other consoles, but that original game was only on Switch and only on PC years later. So I will say, yeah, I did buy games for my Switch, a couple impossible ports. I'm gonna get to that in a little bit of the next Nintendo segment. But as far as like their bread and butter, their first party, that don't move me because, like I said, Breath of the Wild was not special. It was just a new take on Zelda. And yeah, I did buy it. I enjoyed it. I played, I think it was like 180 something hours on it. Just running around, being this little dude, killing shit, solving the shrines and whatnot, fighting bosses. Yeah, it was a good time. It was fun. But like I said, this was also at the time when I was still hyped and loved open world games, the freedom to do what I want, how I want, when I want. like I said, there are many games that have been done that way before Nintendo. As far as this direct, I ain't got nothing else. Like I said, the biggest highlights were Galaxy Duo, which hopefully they don't pull that same shit as they did with the Mario 35th anniversary and make it a time release, and then they're gonna snatch it from store shelves and like that. I don't know why they did. The Galaxy movie and the Pokemon ZA, and of course the nostalgia, the Virtual Boy. I need to see how that. I need to be proven wrong because when it fails, I'm gonna add that to my Nintendo rant, people. I will bring that up. The failure of something not once but twice, baby, in Breath of the Wild. You're gonna look forward to it, Nintendo fan. I guarantee it. Moving on. The next Nintendo piece for our subject matter is the Nintendo. I don't know if anyone of our viewers slash listeners, if you keep up with current news. I mean, that's why you have people like us and other podcasts. But Nintendo was recently awarded a patent for capturing monsters or creatures
Oh
and having
my
them battle
god.
for you. And let me just say this, and I don't care how any of you, I'm not going to say you people, that sounds bad, even though I just said it. You Nintendo fans, take this. That is the scummiest, shittiest, insecure little dick thing you can do. Because the only reason this is happening is because a little indie game called Power World came out. And people compared it to Pokemon so much so, and it sold such high numbers, higher numbers than any Pokemon game in recent years have done. And Nintendo was like, hey, we can't have that. We can't have people compare a game to our game and then it does better. So they sued them. And as far as I know, the lawsuit ain't going that well or that great in Nintendo's favor. And it wasn't for copyright infringement or anything. They were suing them over a patent. Apparently a patent of throwing a ball and catching a creature. The last time I checked, there were many games that did that before Pokemon was invented. There were Dragon Quest games that did. And now Nintendo, with their big dick money, said, hey, we need to make sure that no one can show us up again. We need to make sure if someone wants to try to make a Pokemon S game, we're going to sue the fuck out of you. We're going to make sure you know who we are. We're Nintendo, damn it. We saved the gaming industry 40 years ago. And damn it, you're going to recognize that's what Nintendo is doing. It's shitty, truly a dampening hindrance on creativity. And the last time someone did this was Warner Brothers when they patented the Nemesis system in those Shadow of Mordor games. And when they patented that system, it was never used again. And no one could ever use it. So now when Nintendo is telling you, don't make a Pokemon X game because we don't want you making us look bad.
And it's not in the patent that my cousin is talking about. Nintendo has a patent on summoning. Damn, can I not speak? Summoning characters and making them battle for you. That is the what the patent is essentially. And I don't understand who the fuck passed that because when I say that is like a common S like concept of any like who approved that? And if I was any type of company, I would look around and say, "Who the fuck does Nintendo think they are? We're about to band together and get this shit reversed. Who the fuck do you think you are? You better go sit several seats." Oh man, and when because we have a group chat of with one of our friends, and he actually sent that to the chat. I thought it was fake. I had to click on it because I'm like, ain't no way this is real. Nintendo just listen, all this energy that Nintendo does and copywriting and pulling up infringements on people's videos on YouTube, if they took that
Don't forget
amount of
suing.
energy
Don't forget
in
suing. They
suing,
sue a lot of people.
if they just mustered up half the energy that they spent on that bullshit, making a new IP, I guarantee Nintendo would be in a better place. I'm not saying that the Switch ain't selling. I'm just saying in a game satisfaction for people that are not buying Mario for the umpteenth thousand time. I swear, their catalog would probably be a lot more diverse, a lot more appealing. Hell, I would even speculate they could probably push graphics a little better. Like if they spent
Mm,
half the energy on the
mm.
bullshit. Ugh. Nintendo just it's such a slimy ass company. Yeah,
I'm
I
not gonna lie though, I do it. I will give them prop that the graphics thing, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, are not the most graphically pushing boundaries games, and them games sold millions. Nintendo, and I hate to do this, but Nintendo is the pure reason of what I said why you do not need the most state of the art graphics
oh
for a
yeah,
game because Pokemon looks like clay slapped together in Sword and Shield and Violet and Scarlet. They look like some shit made on Microsoft Artworks 98, whatever the hell that program was. And they sell. So I give them their credit because they do focus on gameplay. That's their whole shtick. They're all about the gameplay. They'll fuck you over everywhere else. But you gonna get fun gameplay. I give them that. But this patent is scummy. It's scummy. It's pretty much saying I don't want competition. And the whole thing is this is an industry that lives and breathes by its competition. Competition pushes creativity. It pushes the next developer to strive to do something, not just to maybe one up the last guy, but to show, hey, I can make something beautiful too. And them doing this is just, and the only reason this happens is because they did this in America. This wasn't done in Japan. They won this patent in America. Capitalism, baby. But that's how it
so,
goes.
in other words, Nintendo had a lot of backdoor meetings with whoever was making these decisions, and they probably filled
Absolutely.
their pockets and got this patent. Because we all know that's
Probably.
how it works.
Well, it's well known. I don't know if you know this. It's well known that everyone says Nintendo has the best lawyers, like,
Oh, that's how
period.
while they're on a nonstop suing copy infringement, like they're just nonstop. Like they don't
If
rest. They take no days off. You could get a
they
letter from
don't,
Nintendo on a holiday.
if Nintendo wanted to sue the Pope, I'm pretty sure they would probably win. That's how good their lawyers are.
I'm saying.
But what this patent has done, it has opened the door for any developer with enough big dick ish money for any game mechanic to come out or to be used and they find success with it and they don't want it copied in any other game, they can just do the same thing. Like I said, the last time this happened was with Warner Brothers and the Nemesis system. And that system has not been used ever again. And it was a very unique system that could have been used in many, many different ways in gaming. That could have breathed a little bit of fresh air, and it's just stuck. And now Nintendo is telling you, hey, don't make a Pokemon-esque game, son, or we will find you.
It's really sad. That whole
Yes,
yeah. Yeah, I'm exhausted talking about Nintendo's shady ways. Look,
I got nothing else. Like
yeah,
I've oh,
fuck Nintendo.
because viewers, please believe, Infamous, me, that guy, I can talk shit on Nintendo all day. You give me a vitamin water, triple X ICI berry, I can give you a work chef, an 8 hour work chef on Nintendo. But we won't do that. Next, let's roll
Hey,
this along.
listen, definitely hit the comment sections. Let us know what you thought about the direct. Was it a snooze fest for y'all, or did y'all actually like some of the announcements? And definitely let me know. Are you still excited about this goddamn Metroid Prime 4 game? And what is your expectations of this game? Cause I ain't got no expectations. So I would like to hear somebody that was there when they announced it 8 years ago. Do you still get that same feeling today in 2025? So let us know in the comments below.
I have a quick expectation. It's gonna run shitty on the original Switch, and it's
The
gonna
system that
run
it was announced on or for.
the system it was announced on, and it's gonna run somewhat decently on the Switch 2. And when anyone complains about it, their answer is gonna be, "Well, just buy the Switch 2 and the Switch 2 version. That's all you gotta do. Why would you buy the old one?" But and that's it for this video of Are You Not Entertained podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell so you'll never miss our next hot take. Until next time, are you not entertained?